Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, March 24th, at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 684 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Zara and Mike Tyndall announce baby boy, the Queen's 10th great-grandchild. Haunted by mass violence, Colorado confronts painful history. Charger passes MSP trooper going 120 miles per hour on I-75. Watch what happens next. Firing of Fort Worth teacher who tweeted Trump about illegal students upheld by court. Yelper brings Asian hate to Long Beach restaurant owner. Ted Cruz says he won't apologize for thoughts and prayers for Colorado shooting victims. Suez Canal blocked by huge container ship after it runs aground. Lawyers who visited migrant children say Trump's border closure turned youngsters into political pawns. A senior citizen was sexually assaulted in Miami Beach, cops say. Photos of suspect released. Another major tornado outbreak takes aim at Southeast. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. COVID-19 news, live updates, The New York Times. Cinnamon Toast Crunch ingredients mystery goes national with lab tests, TMZ. Without Trump to kick around, GOP's blue state got sink, Politico. The latest on the coronavirus pandemic and vaccines, live updates, CNN. Elon Musk says people can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, CNBC. Suez Canal traffic blocked after massive ship runs aground, NPR. Flu shots are linked to a drop in COVID-19 infections, and scientists aren't sure why, Science Alert. Los Angeles Lakers embrace challenge of playing without LeBron James, Anthony Davis, ESPN. Asian woman, 75, who fought back against attacker to donate nearly $1 from GoFundMe, Fox News. Hong Kong, Macau suspend BioNTech vaccine amid packaging issue, Al Jazeera English. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Bosses are thriving during the pandemic, but most employees say the opposite. Do your vaccine side effects predict how you'd react to COVID-19? 27 children's books that teach kids to love animals. What's better, 3 square meals or snacking throughout the day? 42 hilariously real tweets about pandemic hair. Yet again in America, Shep Smith laments never-ending tide of mass shootings. Wolf pups practice their howling and it's adorably terrifying. McConnell gets instant fact-check over brazenly false filibuster defense. Tucker Carlson unironically accuses Obama of being a hate-sowing racial arsonist. Critics find the major flaw in Senator Ted Cruz's latest defense of guns. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Charity calendar recreates iconic movie posters. New bald eagle born in Pittsburgh. Amazon Center helping coffee house thrive. Dentists now eligible to become vaccinators. Overpass severs off semi-truck's roof, sides. Food pantry continues to serve a growing need. Restaurant CEO's death raises COVID awareness. Frozen frogs ready to come back to life. High-speed crash caught on camera. Custom wheelchair gives Army veteran new freedom. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Authorities seek a motive in the Boulder mass shooting. EU set to curb vaccine exports for 6 weeks. How COVID changed us. Got a confidential news tip? NCAA Tournament Live, UConn, Stanford, South Carolina and NC State roll into Sweet 16. Suez Canal blocked after container ship gets stuck. North Korea launches first missile test under Biden administration. Joe Biden's 30-year quest for gun control. The long road to possibly impeaching Cuomo. Netanyahu's party leads in Israel elections. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. $20 million Volvo for sale in New York, here's why the price is so high. Nuggets Jamal Murray, Michael Malone talk Boulder grocery store shooting. Texas Rep Henry Cuellar has history of breaking with fellow Democrats on immigration. Dr. Safir and Chaffetz, COVID unmasks party of science, here's what we've learned after a year of pandemic. Ukraine Health Ministry says woman who died after COVID vaccine had no side effects. Massachusetts HS football team accused of using anti-Semitic language in play calls, report. Barista at Boulder grocery store hit co-worker, 69, under trash cans during deadly shooting. Crosby, Wilson hope for some clarity from NHL on hits. Tim's time is now as key to Gonzaga's bid for perfection. Coyotes rally, then win shootout to stop Avs winning streak. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, March 24th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Disney testing facial recognition tech for park entry. Spring training report, changing the baseball could lead to fewer home runs. Shelby Stoltz on MTV 16 and pregnant, those whole 9 months were a huge growing up process. Kimiko Glenn and Luke Youngblood on Baby Shark's Big Show, it caters to preschoolers, parents, grandparents. Stimulus check update, track your IRS relief payment. Texas Dr. Clay Cockerell and his clinic accused of racking up $4.2 million in fake claims. Loyola 2 wins away from repeating historic run to NCAA Final Four. March Madness, Sweet 16 matchups, tip times, how to watch. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Priti Patel vows boomerang deportations as part of asylum overhaul. Chris Whitty and Jonathan Vanta merge red list is expanded to stop COVID variants. EU standoff with Britain over vaccines escalates. Old English sheepdog breeder is ordered to pay $2,700 to buyer whose puppy had genetic hip condition. Man set to complete 190 square feet jigsaw discovers one of the 54,000 pieces is missing. Zara Tindall gives birth to a baby boy. Grandfather, 60, is found guilty of stealing $87,000 from children's cancer charity he founded. Mobile Photography Awards 2021 reveals its stunning winning entries. Overhearing just one racist comment from a parent can have a lasting impact on children's views. Suez Canal blocked as cargo ship Ever Given runs aground. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. A link between anti-China sentiment in Washington and anti-Asian violence. COVID-19 live updates, deaths from coronavirus on the rise worldwide after weeks of decline, warns WHO. As Europe threatens to curb vaccine exports to Britain and other countries, the post-Brexit rift widens. China bashes U.S. over racism, inequality, pandemic response. Australian mom convicted of killing 4 children loses appeal. There's no virus here, an epic vaccine race against all odds in Indonesia. Many lives were changed by India's lockdown a year ago. Netanyahu's political future unclear as early vote tallies show no certain winner in Israeli election. Israel vote deadlock, Netanyahu appears short of majority. Hong Kong suspends use of BioNTech coronavirus vaccine, citing packaging defects. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Israel election, early results suggest extended deadlock. Josh Norman, 2020 was an awakening for the black community. Abandoned, gangs in Guatemala replace families, photo essay. Missing UK woman's friends urge US Virgin Islands police to search boat. Michigan COVID surge raises fears it's an early sign of things to come across US. The US has been silent on Honduras's drug problem, but that might be about to change. BJRK, a glorious weirdo who taught me to be proud to be different. Freak out, it's Nile Rodgers in your living room, singing and answering questions. Philip Roth by Blake Bailey review, How a Literary Giant Treated Women. Myanmar military releases 600 coup protesters as silent strike begins. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Mass shootings add to mental health issues already affected by COVID-19. Myanmar junta frees hundreds held for anti-coup protests. Trapped Sydney driver becomes first flood disaster fatality. Seattle Proud Boys leader pleads not guilty in Capitol siege. Virginia Woolf, Goldberg's star George Segel dies at 87. Newly confirmed Surgeon General to focus on COVID, opioids. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Egypt's Suez Canal blocked by huge container ship. Myanmar coup, 7-year-old shot as she ran into father's arms. Israel election, Netanyahu falls short of majority amid vote count. India, Delhi orders COVID tests at airports as cases surge. Uluru Waterfalls, rain brings unique sight to Australian landmark. Australian Art Festival cancels plan to soak UK flag in Indigenous blood. World's biggest coal company bets on solar power. China's biggest car brand to launch rival to Tesla. North Korea missiles, Biden says launch not provocation. Australia floods, saving a home from fires only to lose it in floods. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. FDA advisory committees will begin hearings on drug aimed at osteoarthritis pain. Masks, gloves become new Pacific Ocean pollutant. Visitors welcome U.S. Capitol fence removal. AP Top Stories March 24th. As more states open vaccines to all, others lift masking restrictions, California to resume in-person prison visits, live COVID-19 updates. New doubts over role for Southern Baptist women. Prayers in Brazil amid pandemic struggles. Boulder shooting live updates. 21-year-old charged in rampage that monstrously struck down tenant supermarket. Family says he's antisocial. Texas law enforcement adds to U.S. border response. Biden, North Korea missile tests no new wrinkle. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Irvine police seek suspect in assault stemming from altercation between dogs. Have you experienced anti-Asian racism over decades? We want to share your story. LA could roll back move to ticket sidewalk vendors who lack permits. Everything you need to know about the Echo Park homeless encampment. As prospect of Echo Park Lake closure looms, homeless people mull whether to stay or go. Sheriff Villanueva fights subpoena for his testimony on deputy cliques. Small brush fire breaks out in Playa Vista. San Francisco celebrates move to higher reopening tier, but at least one expert is wary. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy shot, suspect wounded after pursuit and gun battle. Los Angeles Police Department shooting outside Olympic Station adds to striking cluster of police shootings since last week. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. A new double mutant variant of COVID found in India, Health Ministry. Brazil COVID crisis, fury after Bolsonaro says people will soon lead normal lives, screams of murderer and liar in major cities as president makes televised address to the nation on deadliest day yet. 60 largest banks in the world have invested $3.8 trillion in fossil fuels since the Paris Agreement. Big banks' trillion-dollar finance for fossil fuels shocking, says report. Soldier kills 7-year-old girl as she sits in her father's lap during raid on Mandalay home. Europe and US could reach peak meat in 2025, report fast growth of plant-based alternatives means consumption of conventional meat will start to fall. US Admiral says Beijing's ability to invade Taiwan much closer than most think. Brazil's 24-hour COVID deaths surpassed 3,000 for first time. Biden admin sanctions Chinese officials for abuses against uyghurs. The Treasury Department also announced sanctions against military leaders in Myanmar for a campaign of violence and intimidation against peaceful protesters. Banksy superhero nurse painting sells for record price to fund NHS. In reversal, updated Israeli exit polls now show Netanyahu losing majority. Today Ireland steps up its ambition by making climate action the law, with a legally binding target of net zero emissions by 2050, and a 51% cut in emissions this decade. Suez Canal blocked after 400-m-long container ship wedges against both sides of waterway. Myanmar, girl, 7, reported shot dead in brutal crackdown on anti-coup protesters in Myanmar. China slams Canada's treatment of First Nations in response to sanctions. The next headlines are from Forbes. Vietnam textile industry combat pandemic with PPE switch. Rapper and cannabis mogul Burner drops new line of organic hemp rolling papers. The Players Tribune announces Japan expansion. Derek Jeter stresses importance of unique athlete voices. Let LGBTQ people pee in peace, says new campaign. Why the Los Angeles Lakers need to make a move following LeBron James' injury. Hong Kong suspends use of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine due to defective bottle lids. Free stuff COVID-19 vaccination cards can get you, like Krispy Kreme donuts. The scramble for breaking news after events like the mass shooting in Boulder often does more harm than good. Brooklyn Nets contemplating several moves with trade deadline approaching. Former U.S. prosecutor faces internal investigation for 60 Minutes interview about Capitol riots. The next headlines are from Nature.com. COVID research updates. COVID viruses are mixing in infected people's cells. Coronavirus diaries, the COVID-19. An atom shuffles its electrons at ultra-high speed, and is caught in the act. What Newton did next, the power of self-deception, and how the new normal becomes normal, books in brief. Australia's oldest rock painting and a prestigious mathematics prize. COVID-19 recovery, science isn't enough to save us. Politicians must dial down the rhetoric over COVID vaccines. Form a climate club, United States, European Union and China. The fight against fake paper factories that churn out sham science. Solar panels that throw shade on canals are an environmental win-win. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,694,050,786 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Bollywood superstar Aamir Khan tests positive for COVID-19. Chernobyl producer sister hires Black Mirror exec Lucy Dyke, launches Northern Production Hub. Singapore Prime Minister wins landmark defamation case about Facebook link. AEG to bring back first group of furloughed workers next month. Ted Hope joins Arizona State University's Thunderbird School. Michaela Cole, Gina Prince Bythewood, the 40-year-old version win NAACP Image Awards. George Segal, Goldberg's star and Oscar nominee, dies at 87. Evan Peters, Niecy Nash and Penelope Ann Miller cast in Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan's Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Entertainment executives discuss the post-pandemic future of the industry. Netflix announces The Circle, Too Hot to Handle premiere dates, TV News Roundup. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. The 2021 hurricane season won't use Greek letters for storms. The future of the pandemic in the U.S., experts look ahead. Boom or bubble, skeptics take aim at buzzy electric vehicle market. Trump teases starting his own social media platform, here's why it'd be tough. Works by Thomas Edison, Kermit the Frog inducted into Library of Congress. Massive container ship runs aground in Suez Canal, halting traffic. New data highlight disparities in students learning in person. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf actor George Segal dead at 87. North Korea tests short-range missile but White House keeps door open to talks. Biden boosts Obamacare, extends special enrollment period. The following headlines are from The Week. Late-night hosts joke about Putin's mysterious COVID-19 vaccination, compare guns to cars. Would Boulder's assault weapons ban really have made a difference? 5 blisteringly funny cartoons about spring break super spreaders. The radical future of the pro-life movement. The best work-from-home desk chairs. Massive container ship is wedged sideways in Egypt's Suez Canal, blocking all shipping traffic. Utah governor signs bill requiring porn blocking on all new smartphones and tablets. Stephen Colbert has a cartoonish theory on how shrimp tails ended up in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Israel's Netanyahu projected to fall short of majority in fourth election in 2 years. Vivek Murthy confirmed for second run as U.S. Surgeon General. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Strangest state, a mysterious monolith and a fat cat. Editorial, defund the constables. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Perseverance begins its science on Mars with a lasers app. Rocks and other features at Perseverance's landing site are getting Navajo names. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, March 24th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Owl keeps an eye out, in New York. Nova brightens in Cassiopeia. A supermassive black hole on the move. Moon and Cancer on March 23rd and 24th. Is March's full moon a supermoon? Subsurface oceans on alien worlds better for life than Earth's oceans? Olympus Mons volcano on Mars, from UAE's Hope. The next news is from Politico. 29M AstraZeneca vaccine doses discovered. European Commission to propose tougher vaccine export rules. Biden's first 100 days. The vaccines that could stop COVID-19. Trump doesn't want back on Twitter, even if he were invited. What the White House Help Is Here tour needs to get a passing grade. Without Trump to kick around, GOP's blue state got sink. I have never seen the Asian American community galvanized like this. Opinion: the filibuster isn't the key to bipartisanship, I know this firsthand. Steyer pulls the Newsom recall, offering himself as an alternative. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Ed Sheeran, Jimmy Barnes perform at Gudinski State Memorial. Liberal stalwarts warn party is in danger of extinction in WA if it doesn't clean up its act. A revolutionary chicken run. Angry parents say injecting room is not fair on our kids. Ex-St. Kevin's teacher charged over alleged conduct with student. Tasmanian Speaker says Liberal Senator questioned Brittany Higgins' drunkenness. Reigning Olympic Sevens champions desperate for matches ahead of Tokyo. Prime suspect's son details what he believes happened to Sharon Phillips. Labour MP says NSW government MP raped female sex worker. The Aussie coach at the heart of Kenya's fairy tale run to African championships. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Biden will regret the $1.9 trillion stimulus because it squanders the money he'll need for other priorities. You can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, Elon Musk says. Europe markets, chipmakers shine in otherwise struggling European markets. Kelly Blue Book, 2021 Maserati Levante, fabulous, fantastic, Italian flair, seriously expensive. EU set to curb exports of COVID-19 vaccines, report. The Moneyest, my husband and his ex-wife agreed that he could claim their kids on his taxes, but now she's demanding half their stimulus. Market Extra, GameStop's earnings with, but retail traders faithful even as Roaring Kitty points to $2 million paper loss. Earnings results, GameStop stock swings lower after earnings. The Moneyest, I feel un-American, I was broke in my 20s, and live in fear of debt. My wife wants to upgrade our home and life, what do I do? The Moneyest, my landlord gave me a waiver on rent as I waited for Section 8 rental assistance. 25 years later, she wants me to pay $1,700. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Apex to buy eyewear maker Rodenstock, Yahoo Finance UK. UK government issues response to AI call for views, Lixology. 2019 MEMS sensors and actuators patenting activity. 2020 report a stable IP landscape with new opportunities and increasing competition. Stockhouse. Tencent's quarterly profit jumps 175%, above forecast. Yahoo Finance UK. Samsung sued again by Solus over display panel patents. Bloomberg Law. Maxell settles patent suit against Apple over mobile tech. Law 360. Hall Booth taps former Axiomati for patent team. Law 360. Spatial launches immersive audio experiences as a service. Martech series. Olympus subsidiaries say colonoscopy tool patents were infringed. Bloomberg Law. Marshall federal jury orders Apple to pay $308 million in patent infringement case. Marshall News Messenger. The next headlines are from Quartz. Vaccine arguments, patents gamble, perfect pasta shape. India's first food delivery IPO is finally on its way, but Amazon could be a speed bump. Rising U.S. Treasury bond yields could threaten India's economic recovery. For-profit nursing homes are understaffed by design. Beijing's European sanctions are also a bid to control who tells the China story. America's businesses have discovered vaccine marketing. The screening power of Visa. Biden's infrastructure bill will make or break his climate legacy. Gamers turn Discord into a $10 billion juggernaut. The sun will power large parts of Africa's COVID-19 vaccination program. The following headlines are from TechDirt. New Year, same you, Twitch releases tools to help creators avoid copyright strikes, cannot properly police abuse. Connecticut legislature offers a bill that would make prison phone calls free. TechDirt Podcast Episode 275, The State of Trust and Safety. North Carolina legislators push bill that would prevent cops, prosecutors from charging 6-year-olds for picking flowers. Senator Mark Warner doesn't seem to understand even the very basic fundamentals of Section 230 as he seeks to destroy it. Daily Deal, Mini White Book Scan, 2-pack. What I hope tech CEOs will tell Congress, we're not neutral. Yet more studies show that 5G isn't hurting you. Cheryl Atkinson lawsuit against Rod Rosenstein claiming she was hacked by government host. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Brian Scalabrine. Suez Canal. Flannery O'Connor. Demi Lovato documentary. George Segal. Dolly Parton. Joe Flacco. Monster Hunter Rise. Alien. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. COVID-19 to delay India's rise to world's third biggest economy, Bank of America. Russian state fund invests in Telegram as part of Messenger's $1 billion fundraising drive, despite country once trying to ban service. All options on table for removing illegal migrants, says UK's Patel, not ruling out Gibraltar as asylum seeker processing center. Hundreds of detained anti-coup protesters released in Myanmar, media. Worrying scenes as Atletico Madrid forward Musa Dembele collapses during training as medics rush to his aid, video. Russia says LNG production capacity could jump threefold by 2035. Pentagon labored for more than 20 days to create mediocre anti-Russian documents reveal. Ukrainian soldier dies after receiving Indian-made AstraZeneca COVID-19 jab, as Army warns against drawing premature conclusions. Trafficking investigation launched over Philippines immigration officers sending women into slavery. Bitcoin jumps after Musk says crypto will be accepted as payment for Tesla cars. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. 2021's bond bloodbath is the worst in decades. Tesla now accepting payment in Bitcoin, Musk tweets. Evading the dollar trap. Boulder shooter identified as 21-year-old Ahmed Alissa, charged with 10 counts of murder. Picking up where Trump left off, Biden threatens sanctions on Germany for Nord Stream 2. 1 year to flatten life as we knew it. Moscow declares no relations with the EU as Brussels has unilaterally destroyed ties. COVID restrictions to remain in place for years, says UK's public health official. Escobar, welcome to shocked and odd 21st century geopolitics. Comparing luxury investment around the world. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Bangladesh defends use of fences after deadly Rohingya campfire. India reports novel COVID-19 variant, daily deaths at years high. You can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, company's tech noting. Explosion targeting police kills 3 in southwest Pakistan. Eritrean troops killed more than 100 civilians in Tigray, rights group. Suez Canal blockage sends oil prices rebounding after sell-off. Does intelligent life exist beyond Earth? Suez Canal, ships being diverted to Old Channel. India devotees celebrate Holi festival, ignore COVID restrictions. Dubai's deputy ruler Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid dies. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Poll, Doug Collins leads Republicans in hypothetical Georgia Senate primary. GOP Senator Kennedy, we do not need more gun control, we need more idiot control. Watch, Belize men's soccer team confronted by armed insurgents in Haiti. Israeli election too close to call, though Netanyahu wins plurality. Deshaun Watson's lawyer blasts sex abuse lawsuits as false, blackmail. 24 women accuse Deshaun Watson of sex assault, misconduct. Blumenthal, Republicans are complicit in all these shootings. Democrats sense, Duckworth and Hirano ready to withhold support for Biden nominees until Asian picks put forward. Top commander, Northern Triangle migrants not facing systemic persecution at home. DHS left out of White House talks in Mexico, Guatemala on stemming migrant surge at U.S. border. The next headlines are from UPI News. Tree frog named as 2021 Cadbury Bunny. Police in Kansas pull over driver going 149 miles per hour. Foul ball smashes beer, showering fans at Diablo Stadium. Jack Dorsey sells first ever tweet for more than $2.9 million. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. Easy and tasty pasta for the month of March. These are all the ways to use baking soda, part 2. 7 little known ways to remodel your home. What are the health benefits of cannabis sativa? The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Air-free bike tires made from NASA rover tech soon to be available for any cyclist. Watch a life-saving moment. A man topples backwards off a balcony, but a bystander catches his foot. Chimps from 2 Czech zoos are zooming each other every day. Just one day after completing CPR training, a teen saves her friend's life using procedure she'd just learned. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, March 24th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. National Guardsmen transporting COVID-19 vaccines held at gunpoint. Krispy Kreme will give you a free donut every day this year, if you've been vaccinated. Till in 1915, a woman arrived late at her sister's funeral and demanded that her sister's coffin be raised so that she could say goodbye. When the coffin opened, her sister, Essie Dunbar, sat up and smiled and went on to live for another 47 years. Penises are shrinking because of pollution. Pretty bird, pretty bird. Australian government staff filmed sexual encounters in Parliament and brought in sex workers for MPs. Goldman Sachs boss says go extra mile despite 95-hour week. Man named Salmon Dream unable to change name after sushi promo. How I heat my home by mining cryptocurrencies. A Chinese city has banned stripping newlyweds as a wedding game. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. How deepfakes could help implant false memories in our minds. DARPA to test AI-controlled jets in live fly dogfights after successful simulations. The OnePlus 9 Pro takes S-tier photos, and I may just drop the Pixel for it. Ritasonic uses AI to create engaging copy for all your content marketing and sales. A totally necessary analysis of Microsoft's Xbox Live rebranding. Everything announced at today's OnePlus event. It doesn't look like a guitar, but the pocket guitar will still absolutely stun you with its sound. Green claims in a carbon-heavy reality. How to use AI to better serve your customers. These GPT-3 pickup lines are better than the sleaze and cheese you sling on Tinder. The following headlines are from Science Daily. more than words, using AI to map how the brain understands sentences. Domestication and industrialization lead to similar changes in gut microbiota. Engineering of Mississippi River has kept carbon out of atmosphere, study says. New test traces DNA origins to monitor transplant rejection and reveal hidden cancers. Rare fossilized algae, discovered unexpectedly, fill in evolutionary gaps. Corals may need their predators' excrement. The lambs break their silence. How human cells coordinate the start of DNA replication. Rare genetic variant puts some younger men at risk of severe COVID-19. The same sea level for everyone. The next headlines are from Information Week. Texas County turns to low-code database for vaccine registrations. What IT leaders need to know about open-source software. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, March 24th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA Ingenuity Mars helicopter prepares for first flight. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Buy, sell, or stand pat, which option makes the most sense for the Utah Jazz at the NBA trade deadline? Quoting Brigham Young, James Huntsman sues LDS Church, seeks to recover millions in tithing. Richard Davis, the debate over equality and religious freedom. By defensive lineman Anthony Semehe sat out the 2020 season with a blood clot in his brain. Now he's back in the fold. Carousel Ice Cream Parlor, movies 8 are gone as Provo raises old favorites for new development. Utah reports 15 more COVID-19 deaths. Utah Health, Human Services agencies to merge next year. Commentary, finalize your business playbook for COVID-19. Michelle Goldberg, the Johnson & Johnson shot was my ticket out of hell. Utah Symphony's 2021 to 2022 season, starting in September, to feature nature-inspired music and violinist Hilary Hahn. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Uniswap unveils version 3 and bid to stay DeFi's top dog. Intel to spend $20 billion to build 2 new chip fabs in Arizona. In 2020, 2/3 of Google searches ended without a click. Facebook guidelines allow users to call for death of public figures. Samsung is reportedly working on a double folding phone. Google and Microsoft team up to fix compatibility issues between browsers. Microsoft rebrands Xbox Live to Xbox Network. Nintendo to use new NVIDIA graphics chip in 2021 Switch upgrade. India battles a second COVID-19 wave and vaccine skepticism. Major employers scrap plans to cut back on offices. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Evictions to resume this week in St. Louis County. DoorDash will begin delivering COVID test kits to your home. 2 killed and 1 injured in East St. Louis shooting. Report of shots fired on I-64 in Lake St. Louis ends with crash. Jefferson County woman holds new state record for yellow perch catch. Missouri task force to help support small businesses impacted by COVID. Biden urges Congress to tighten gun control after Colorado mass shooting. Overdue utility bills thanks to the pandemic, you're not alone. Officer killed in Boulder shooting, what we know about the father of 7 shot in the line of duty. Nearly $1 million awarded by Governor Pritzker to address Cahokia Heights flooding. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Mexican consulate in San Diego to offer COVID-19 vaccinations. 71-year-old accused in DUI crash that killed 3 pleads not guilty. Biden administration under fire for migrant surge at border. Remarkable women, veteran Jody Grenier continues to serve others. San Diego Marine accounted for in USS Oklahoma Project's 300th ID. Marine commander fired after deadly assault vehicle accident. Coronado hotels start to bounce back in red air. What we know about the 10 victims killed in Colorado supermarket shooting. Small risk still exists to catch COVID-19 after vaccines, UCLA fined. 2 arrested in fatal shooting of teen at South Bay Park. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. How to spy on your child's Android phone activities. A police camera that never tires stirs unease at First Circuit. If you invested $1,000 in the SPY ETF 1 year ago, here's how much you'd have now. Israeli spy narrates arrest conditions in U.S. Model claims she was offered $70,000 to make secret Novak Djokovic sex tape. Russia tycoon sues publisher and Reuters reporter over Putin book. Presence Global launches Android app to provide peace of mind online. Review, The Courier delivers Cold War intrigue Brainerd Dispatch. Students ask professors to reconsider anti-cheat software. Students build clock with hidden CCTV camera, win Smart India Hackathon. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. 3 crew members dead in incident with Russian Tu-22 backfire bomber. Ukraine notes strong Brazilian interest in anti-tank missiles. Sikorsky contracted for engineering and technical support services of Army Black Hawk aircraft. Raytheon nabs $63 million for FA-18 radar systems repair. Standard Aero contracted for T-56 repairs in support of P-3, C-130 and C-2A aircraft. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Image-obsessed Chinese actress apologizes for comparing her body shape to a cartoon character's. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, March 24, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Post office changes, what's in the USPS 10-year plan? Treasure Island opens its own COVID-19 vaccine site, drop-ins welcome. Why PG&E power shutoffs could become more frequent. Disturbing video, Asian woman robbed, dragged by car in San Francisco. UCSF doctor shares study on pandemic weight gain. What's opening in San Francisco in the orange tier? Rare gray wolf moves farther south into Central California. Boulder supermarket shooting suspect purchased gun less than a week ago. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Hate has no home here, Naperville event condemns anti-Asian racism after Atlanta shootings. Schaumburg aims to make Gulf Road its own business-friendly zoning district. Antioch able to overcome Week 1 miscues. New Pats T.E. Johnu Smith eyeing fresh start on the journey. Boys and Girls Club of Elgin awards Youth of the Year. Lawmaker looks to lift ban on inmate voting. Butterfield Road in Wheaton reopens after fatal crash. Elmhurst District 205 names interim leader, zeroes in on 3 superintendent finalists. COVID-19 update, 70,252 more shots, another 13 dead, 1,832 new cases. Illinois Coburn targeted in racist post after NCAA loss. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle City Council Committee stalls on further cuts to Seattle Police Department's 2021 budget. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Malawi, Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, March 24th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Houston couple out $8K as catalytic converter theft spikes in area. Stop Asian hate donuts sell out and spark conversation. Senator Tammy Duckworth threatens Biden nominees over lack of AAPI diversity in cabinet. Houston doctor confident in AstraZeneca vaccine, but says messaging has been horrible. 25-cent bargains at unique discount store creates buzz. Colorado grocery store shooting suspect ID'd as man, 21, victims between 20 and 65. Deshaun Watson's lawyer says one of the claims against Texans QB was consensual. What we know about the victims in Boulder King Soopers grocery store shooting. BLQK coffee, pour with a purpose. All Texas adults will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccine next week, state announces. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Top seed NC State beats South Florida with big third quarter. Hogan, vaccine cavalry is finally coming to a rescue. LaMelo Ball undergoes surgery to repair broken wrist. California virus cases keep falling, more businesses reopen. U.S., Iraq to hold talks over American troop presence. France to reopen Libyan embassy, support interim government. Colorado shooting victims included store workers, officer. Duckworth threatens Biden nominees over lack of diversity. The latest, vaccinated don't need masks at work in Anchorage. Oakland launches guaranteed pay plan for low-income people. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. NY's second round of rent relief only distributes $7 million of $60 million available. Extra, the pandemic has not been great for our backs, Bob. NJ Army reservist and locally known anti-Semite with Hitler mustache must remain jailed for role in Capitol riot. 3 dolphins spotted frolicking in East River near Greenpoint. NY Assembly Committee launches a Cuomo impeachment inquiry that could take months. Subway trains are going faster as MTA upgrades century-old signals. Former NYPD spokesperson charged in Capitol insurrection. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Your taxes pay for NY state health data, why does Cuomo make it so hard to access? De Blasio announces 80,000 city employees will return to offices in May. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. End vaccine apartheid before millions more die. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. 10 killed in Colorado grocery store shooting. Epic seeks documents on protest monitoring and advanced surveillance technologies from federally funded fusion centers. That time a leaked memo proved the U.S. weaponizes human rights against nations like China. Saudi Arabia bombs grain port in Yemen. Illegal immigrants to receive $4.38 billion in Biden bucks. The Great Reset is here, follow the money. Tragedy, COVID suicides among children exceed COVID deaths. Warmonger Joe Biden seems quite eager to start a war with Russia. Los Angeles Unified School District and Microsoft implement Daily Pass app for students. Police identify alleged shooter in Colorado grocery store mass shooting as Ahmad al-Alawi Alyssa. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Biden expands Obamacare by cutting health insurance costs. Part of Wright brothers' first airplane on NASA's Mars chopper. Rumor alert, Colorado shooting suspect hit ICE's sympathies. Is FEMA covering funeral expenses for people who died from COVID-19? Did U.S. have no mass shootings under Trump? Jury set for ex-cop's trial in Floyd death. Democrats vow vote on gun bills, Biden says we have to act. Polish writer facing prison for calling president moron. Did Freud say before diagnosing yourself with depression, make sure you are not just surrounded by buttholes? Do homeless people have access to COVID-19 stimulus payments? We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Israel's election day exit polls show Bibi in slight lead. Below deck sailing yachts Captain Glenn on the COVID scare that nearly sabotaged the season. Tucker Carlson's biggest advertiser unloads on Fox News. Always had a smile, these are the victims of the Boulder massacre. Prince Harry lands a new job with hotshot Silicon Valley startup BetterUp. Very antisocial, suspect in Boulder supermarket massacre was paranoid, brother says. Georgia GOP goes all out to suppress black votes amid MAGA civil war. This is the best way to find specialty groceries. Getting a presidential pet is a great distraction from scandal. Once upon a time, the GOP actually backed more people voting. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Letters to the editor, March 24, 2021. The attaché revisits 2015 Paris terrorist attacks. Major Biden spotted back at the White House after biting incident. Wild West, check out Kenai's 4,524-acre Wyoming ranch amidst divorce. Here's how to not let the pandemic sour your Passover. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Global telescope creates exquisite map of black hole's magnetic field. Physicists cautiously optimistic about CERN evidence for new fundamental particle. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. NASA readies helicopter for historic flight on Mars. Entrepreneur hopes to make Appalachia a hub for indoor farming. AstraZeneca may have included outdated information in COVID-19 vaccine trial report. Dr. David August on what you can and cannot do after full COVID-19 vaccination. How one indoor farm is changing how food is grown. Miami Beach imposes emergency curfew as partiers overwhelm city. State of emergency declared in Miami Beach amid spring break partying. U.S. study finds AstraZeneca COVID vaccine 79% effective. CDC warns U.S. could experience a variant-fueled COVID surge as states lift restrictions. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. It's official, Andrew Yang drops off petition signatures to get on NYC mayoral ballot. Remote work for 80,000 New York City office workers to end in May. CIT, millions of spiders scuttle to safety amid epic flooding in New South Wales, Australia. Legalizing adult-use marijuana in NY is really close, Senator Stuart Cousins. NY's Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie tests positive for COVID. Boulder shooting suspect identified as Ahmad Alyssa, 21-year-old who bought AR-15 just last week. She was as kind as they come, heartbroken loved ones speak on the 10 victims who died in Boulder mass shooting. Massachusetts high school football team used anti-Semitic play calls, Anti-Defamation League demands investigation. Video of vicious attack on gay couple in Rome prompts calls for hate crime laws. Spring breaker drugged, raped and left for dead identified as 24-year-old Philadelphia woman. The following headlines are from military.com. The Navy doesn't need another carrier right now, Admiral nominated to lead Pacific Ops says. The VA just got $17 billion in COVID relief money. Here's how they plan to spend it. Army leaders to be briefed on findings from household goods shipment study. Iraq requests new round of talks with U.S. over troop presence. Here's what it costs to keep U.S. troops in Japan and South Korea. Police respond to reports of possible gunmen at California veterans' home. U.S. drone strike case appeal to Germany's highest court. Guard troops ambushed in Texas, held at gunpoint while transporting COVID-19 vaccines. Colorado shooting leaves 10 dead in latest mass tragedy. Coast Guard monitoring lobstermen protest in Maine. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Company in charge of vaccinating CPS employees misallocated 6,000 vaccines, Chicago Health Department says, this is completely unacceptable behavior. The Spin, Mayor Lightfoot says we'll close back down if uptick in COVID-19 cases leads to surge. Pritzker signs law to study reparations as Evanston case first step in municipal program. Rep Ford quits Loretto Hospital board over vaccine rollout. New Lennox White Power salute Ned's hate crime charge, police say. Woman found dead after Princeton Park standoff, officials say. Corrections and clarifications. Here are some of the key measures in the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus Economics Package signed by Governor Pritzker. Governor J.B. Pritzker signs Illinois Legislative Black Caucus Economic Reform Package. Wisconsin Republicans vote to take control of COVID-19 relief money from Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Column, she worked for months to bring a community fridge to Evanston and it was destroyed in a car crash. Then the community stepped up. Prosecutors and judge agree that after 20 years in prison, troubled mother deserves mercy and a new shot at life. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Union-friendly states enjoy higher economic growth, individual earnings. With drop in LA's vehicular aerosol pollution, vegetation emerges as major source. Researchers develop technology allowing researchers to image wetland soil activity in real time. Changes in Antarctic marine ecosystems. Domestication and industrialization lead to similar changes in gut microbiota. Engineering of the Mississippi River has kept carbon out of the atmosphere, says new study. Another new chameleon from the Bale region of Ethiopia. Social context affects gendered views of STEM subjects in England and Japan. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, March 24th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Homo erectus, what do we know about our early ancestors? Programming language converts laws into provably correct computer code. Archaeologists have found prehistoric rock structures under the Great Lakes. Here's what the stones can tell us. How the Triassic extinction helped dinosaurs take over the planet. Best nootropics, top 6 most effective nootropic supplements of 2021. Top 5 natural testosterone boosters, best supplements for increasing testosterone levels. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Safety Kareem Jackson returns to Broncos on one-year deal. Parler Network founder claims GOP donor, others defamed him. White House, North Korea conducted short-range missile test. Stock trading app company Robinhood files plan to go public. Spa witness, police reports detail carnage in Georgia. Dest, sergeant part of U.S. team prepping for dizzying stretch. Newly confirmed Surgeon General to focus on COVID, opioids. Belmont program founder virtually cheering Bruins run. Bears sign offensive lineman Wilkinson to one-year contract. Bucs Super Bowl film showcases Brady and Tampa Bay D. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Newly renovated Scott's Seafood reopens at Jack London Square after long COVID shutdown. SF Giants Logan Webb looks deserving of rotation spot, continues electric spring. Senator Duckworth threatens to hold up Biden nominees. Volcanic ash shutters International Airport in Guatemala. A's analysis, which positions and which players could be used in a platoon this year? Woman shot in West Oakland. Facebook accused of taking money for ads to fake people after disabling 1.3 billion fake accounts. COVID, when will kids be vaccinated? Photos, Contra Costa County's Hope and Healing remembers local COVID-19 victims. Warriors working with San Francisco on plan to bring fans to Chase Center, mayor says. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Bill to eliminate training wage heads to House floor. Mississippi AG, state to share in surgical mesh settlement. Chuck Grassley pushes for criminal charges against fake Brett Kavanaugh accusers. Inside the Beltway, Fox News still top choice of Republicans. $150K settlement for Hawaii teen arrested by classmate's dad. Former Federal Circuit Court Judge Kermit By dies at 84. NC 6-12 graders okayed to return with less desk separation. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Some younger Amazon workers in Bessemer, new to unions, are still undecided. Yes, blame Christian fundamentalism for the Atlanta murders. Minnesota police ready for pipeline resistance as Enbridge seeks to drill under rivers. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Artificial neurons help decode cortical signals. Plant-wise plant clinics help promote sustainable crop pest management in Rwanda and Zambia. New diagnostic tool for the management of patients with sepsis. CHOP researchers find supplement prevents strokes in patients with rare genetic disorder. New result from the LHCb experiment challenges leading theory in physics. Association found between consumption of ultra-processed foods and drinks and colorectal cancer risk. Neutrons reveal unpredicted binding between SARS-CoV-2, hepatitis C and T viral drug. BMI1, a promising gene to protect against Alzheimer's disease. Study, precautions used to prevent COVID-19 decreased common respiratory illness rates. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Bobby Brown Jr.'s parents call for charges in his drug death. Woman fatally struck by vehicle in Leiden Township. COVID-19 cases ticking back up across Chicago, live updates. Zoning committee approves $30 million esports arena. Carlos Rodon, motivated by non-tender, wins job as White Sox fifth starter. Motorcyclist, 19, dies in weekend crash on Butterfield Road. Bears sign OT Elijah Wilkinson, LB Christian Jones. Man charged in 2019 July 4th shooting that left one dead and injured 3 others. Woman found shot dead after Southside SWAT standoff, man arrested. Loyola's Porter Moser, how long will he stay, anyway, is entering Brad Stevens territory. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. Kara Newmark expanding Sweetology to national audience post-pandemic. The Big Mad, Distracted Cops, Root Asteroids and the Corn-Cobbing of Andrew Koenig. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Detroit rapper Tone to open Tony Island restaurant on the city's east side. Downtown Detroit will soon have free electric carts and they are kind of cute. Rashida Tlaib is still fighting for recurring COVID-19 relief payments, and she has an interesting idea for how to fund it. Detroit's former Briggs Sports Bar sued for pirating pay-per-view UFC fight. Herbasil reviews, ingredients, benefits and side effects. Nestle charges Wolverine Watchman member on felony weapons counts. Krispy Kreme will give you a donut a day if you flash your COVID-19 vaccination card. Tom Wall's journey into the secret life of marijuana plants. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, March 24, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. All adults in Texas can get COVID-19 vaccine shots starting Monday. Watson sued by 14th woman for sexual assault during private massages, updated. Opera in the Heights brings Lucia and Figaro to White Oak Music Hall. Where to dine out for Easter Sunday brunch 2021 in Houston. Music and a message, Dend releases film In Case You Forgot I'm Black. 4 thoughts on Nick Caserio's latest Texans roster makeover phase. The next headlines are about world records making news. Largest champagne sparkling wine fight, the Cotnery Winery sets world record Academy. A new world record for Banksy and a Pretty Little Picasso-powered Christie's seemingly endless $275 million contemporary art auction, ArtNet News. New world record antlered doe, or is it, North American Whitetail Magazine. Record-breaking Lamborghini Urus clocks 185 miles per hour along frozen ice on world's deepest lake, hot cars. Pakistani girls beat India, Sweden at 3 Guinness World Records, The News International. Most awarded winery, world record set by the Cotnery Winery, World Record Academy. Narwhal sets world record to win gold at World Shooting Para Sport World Cup, Games.Bees. Lasha Talakhet snatches 223 kilograms, the heaviest snatch ever filmed, barbend. Dana White reveals mind-blowing stats behind Francis Ngannou's power, sport bubble. Anchor handling world record for Island Offshore's vessel, offshore engineer. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Scientists just found a new kind of rock under the Pacific Ocean. Apple's mixed reality headset might be light AF. The Australian floods are devastating wildlife. Steam will let you stream games in 8K, but most graphics cards cannot even do 4K. Facebook missed 10.1 billion opportunities to stop juicing hoaxes and propaganda in 2020, study finds. Some of our brain cells get more active hours after we die, study finds. The 10 best deals of March 23, 2021. Oil giant Shell hacked thanks to Floridian Lion system. NASA reveals its plan for first helicopter flight on Mars. Let's all be more like a global investment bank. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Luxor in Egypt at 110.48 degrees Fahrenheit or 43.6 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 77.62 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 60.9 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Ransomware operators are piling on already hacked exchange servers. NASA lays out plans for its first flights on Mars. Authorities raise red flags about AstraZeneca's vaccine press release, updated. Today's best tech deals, Logitech mice and keyboards, gaming headsets, and more. Valve releases Steam Link app on Apple's Mac App Store. Black Widow to Disney Plus, we finally know when, how much. FCC wants to hear from Americans who've been ignored by broadband industry. U.S. pedestrian deaths rose sharply in the first half of 2020. OnePlus snubs Google's Wear OS, announces $159 smartwatch. Report, Microsoft in talks for $10 billion acquisition of Discord. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Ron DeSantis says contact tracing doesn't work, but he barely used it. NASA will attempt first off-world flight in early April. Pro-Trump lawyer Lin Wood to sue Georgia State Bar for demanding he undergo mental health evaluation, report. Mitch McConnell destroyed after insisting filibuster has no racial history at all. Bill Barr is the reason some Capitol attackers could be charged with sedition, Mueller prosecutor. Colorado supermarket shooter asked to speak to his mother after being detained, report. Elections in Israel, Netanyahu's Likud party in the lead but without clear majority. If Ron DeSantis doesn't have anything to hide, why won't he turn over the data? Florida reporter. Government agency tasked with workplace safety essentially ignored COVID-related complaints, report. Biden eyes tax hikes for rich, ending fossil fuel subsidies to fund infrastructure. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Senate Republicans argue Black Lives Matter and defund the police are to blame for gun violence. Biden calls on Senate to immediately pass gun reform laws in wake of mass shootings. Report, Facebook still struggles to contain misinformation. How our tax code is rigged against Black Americans. 10 people killed in Colorado supermarket mass shooting. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Fact check, false claim that Buzz Aldrin saw an alien on his trip to the moon, USA Today. Essential California, will a Democrat join the recall field, Los Angeles Times. Thanks to Trump-era COVID relief bill, a UFO report may soon be public, and it'll be big, ex-official says, The Washington Post. Oumuamua, it came from another solar system, The New York Times. My Life with Conan the Barbarian, Texas Monthly, Texas Monthly. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. School-based mindfulness training is linked to neuroplasticity and improved cognitive control among 6th graders, SciPost. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, March 24, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, March 24, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.